This is DLFM Online Radio Station Chicago. Dimensión Latina FM Radio TV. Baja nuestra aplicación a través de tu iPhone o Android. Búscanos como Dímela FM. Búscanos en TuneIn Radio como Dimensión Latina FM y visita nuestra página web dimelafm.com.
This is ELSA PRADO, and I am hosting Wings of Love. Today we have a great program with a community visionary and leader, and I want to introduce you to Ruth Cruz, who's working very hard here to empower our people, our community, and she is an immigrant child of Mexico, which came here and has turned things around. And working with the community, she holds a bachelor's degree in business administration and a master's degree in management from Roosevelt University. And she has over 16 years of experience in education, but I'll let her tell you more about what she's been doing and the things that she would like to see in the community. Welcome to the program, Ruth Cruz.
Thank you, Elsa. Thank you for having me. And as you were sharing a little bit about myself, I came to Chicago from Mexico at age of 7. I attended Chicago public schools, and I went on to earning my master's degree in management. I have over 16 years in experience in higher education. Like you mentioned, I'm actually currently the Assistant Director of Admissions at Roosevelt University. And then I also am a longtime resident of the 30th Ward, where I'm raising with my husband, Oscar, our 2 children, Elaine and Ricky. And I have been involved in the community for a very long time. I am a community volunteer. I have been doing different activities in the community, doing outreaching, helping out, also part of the 30th Ward office. But also I'm part of the local school council at Foreman High School. Okay. And I'm also a volunteer at the Avondale Restorative Justice Community Court, where we help those young individuals who have made a mistake and want to get their life back on track. We guide them through the process of creating an actual plan how to restore the harm they have done. So it's very rewarding to be able to participate, still be with the youth, but also empowering the community, because that's what I have. I have a passion for empowering our community, to connect them with valuable resources. And that's the reason I have been involved in the community and giving my time to the community, who has led me to run to become the new All Women of the 30th Ward. Because of my passion and then my commitment that I have for my community, I want to make sure that we have a solid representation in City Council who's going to go and advocate for all of our residents in the 30th Ward, and who's doing it for the right reasons. Mm-hmm. And that's, I believe I am. And again, my commitment has always been and will be there for the community, for our youth, for our elders, for our businesses, but again, overall for all of our residents.
Absolutely. And that is something that these are the things that are happening, like they say, right? Always like behind, everything. And people don't get to see, they don't get to really get to know you. So I hope this is a good opportunity for you to get the word out about the work that you're doing. Tell us about what would you like to see in the community?
There's a lot of things that we can do in the community, and one of them and again, it goes with my passion, education. We want to make sure that our schools, our teachers are receiving the right resources, so then our children can receive a quality education. We tend to see sometimes our children not having the resources that is needed inside of a classroom or inside of a school, whether it is having a nurse, whether it is having a librarian, or just having after-school programs. For example, we need to get our youth involved, keep them busy, keep
off
their
the
minds.
Streets.
Yes, absolutely. Keep them busy, keep off the street, and just engage really on their education. And instead of going home, playing video games, whatever it might be, is invite them to be part of the community and build a sense of community that's exactly what I'm looking for. And there's other things that we want to do as well. But again, helping our families, our working families, like you and I and everybody else in this call, we have a lot of struggles that we all go through. But we all have to work together and address these problems together to either bring a solution, bring resources, or overall just working together. Because if we help each other, whether it could be a small situation that's happening in our community, but again, it takes a village. I always say, be the change you want to be.
Exactly.
And take the first step. So if you see something in your community, you want to see things different, let's go ahead and all work together, come forward. We all can build different type of groups to address certain issues.
And not only that, but to really take it on. I mean, so many times people will say, oh yeah, they're just, talking politics and it's all talk, no action, nothing gets done, blah, 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 right? But it is really taking it to doing it, getting it done.
Yes, getting it done. It's a lot. We can all do the thing.
Yes.
We can do the.
We can all talk,
yes.
Right? But to walk it.
Yes, and exactly, to do the walk, it takes a lot of time. And even for myself, I see a lot of people involved in the community who, just like myself, are volunteers. Where we have our family, we have a full-time jobs, we have everything else, but we still find the time to devote that to the community. There's a lot, for example, a group that I know is called Las Damas de Belmont Cragen. Mm-hmm. They're excellent when it comes to always being there for the community help. But we all have to work together, and sometimes people may say, well, I do want to be part of it, I just don't know where. Exactly. Well, let's build those coalitions, let's build those groups to empower one another, but more importantly, hold ourselves accountable. Because we tend to see that people, they're like, yeah, I want to be, we show up to the first meeting, but then we never follow through. Right. It's all about accountability when it comes to being part of something, and we all show up and we do as we say, we will see a difference in the community. Certainly. And we already see it, because again, there's groups, there's a lot of people get involved, but again, we need more. It takes a village.
Totally. And without the village cooperating and collaborating with these programs and the parents, it just, how are we going to raise these kids?
Yes, and it goes as simple. We have a lot of people there. Again, we're all very talented one way or the other. We have a lot of individuals who are very athletic. I can say I am not. I'm not one of them, but we have a lot of them who have been coaches before, who have done different type of curriculums. Why not have those individuals come out to the park, build where, one of the aldermen that I know, he does those initiatives during the summer.
Yes.
He's the one who's coaching, and these kids gather from the neighborhood. They come out, they play dodgeball, they play softball, they play different things, and that's what it is. So if we have those individuals who have done sports, who can come out and devote 1 or 2 hours a week,
right,
it will make a difference not only with our youth, but with themselves as well.
Absolutely. And not only that, it's so rewarding to see the gratitude in the kids. I mean, one of the things that I really thoroughly enjoy in working with our youth is that when I see them, those little smiles, the happiness, the glow in their faces from feeling accomplished. Because so many kids, they just need to be supported, and they need to have these figures that are mentoring them, and that they're actually, giving them that little push that they need just to get to the next level. And it's so important that we don't give up on our kids, and that the kids, like you said, and I think you brought something to the table right now that is very important. Some kids have gone the wrong way. Let's bring them back. Let's restore them and allow them to get that second chance. And whatever mistakes they made, they can redeem themselves from them.
Absolutely. I have seen it. I have worked with different type of individuals who are like, hey, I know I did wrong. Right. I agree and I admit to it, but I want to repair that harm.
Right.
What can I do? I'm willing to either go through a program, go through education, go through volunteering hours, whatever it may be, or even going to the individual that created the harm to apologize and say, I want to be better. And that's what it is. This is not about judging someone.
No, exactly.
It's about you, whatever you have done is done. Let's repair that harm and move on.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Let's move on, because everybody in life, we're all human beings.
We all made mistakes.
Yes.
You know?
We all make mistakes. So what better way to have individuals who say, hey, I get it. I understand. We're not perfect. Let's help you and move on. And that's what we see across the board. But again, when you were talking about the smiles and, seeing that positive reinforcement in our children, it's also to our elders, being in the community. There's times that they have a situation, but they just don't know who to call. They're not technology savvy where we can, have them fill out an application online. But when you sit down with them, you explain to them, you help them, guide them, and maybe get them the right phone number to call if they cannot use your computer, or help them navigate through that site. They're so thankful and will never forget you, because they know that this young lady, this person helped me through the process. And you see their faces also with a glow.
That's true. And that's one of the things that if our kids would learn, that, also helping the elderly, the third generation, and assisting them, then you kind of have that whole circle coming together.
Yes.
And we need to do that, more of that, rather than having the youth thinking, oh, they're old, they're useless, they're not good anymore. No, there's plenty of people that are retired and could also volunteer and bring skills that they had, that they were using for a long time in their lifetimes, but now they just don't know where.
Yes.
And they sit at home for hours and hours on the couch watching TV, or, wasting life, wasting time, where they could actually put it back into the community.
I agree. It can be as simple as say, hey, go help your neighbor.
Yes.
Or you're in the window, you're seeing your neighbor carrying their groceries or carrying something.
Yes.
Hey, run outside, help the neighbor. It's as simple as that. It's just, again, doesn't have to involve a lot of time, but we have to be intentional of what we do. And that's something that I can say I've always been intentional with everything that I do. We want to make sure that we always have something in mind, and always, whatever that is always to be positive and be helping others to make a difference in their lives.
And then, like I was saying, everybody feels good, because everybody, did something. Everybody's putting the little grain of sand in, and then everybody feels collectively good.
Yes.
And it's like passing on the positivity. And then you just grow, from those experiences.
Yeah. At my house, every time we all ask each other, how was your day?
It's so important.
And then that's where we share our stories. This is what I did, or I had a bad day. We all have bad days.
We all do.
And sometimes, my daughter were like, today was not a good day. Why wasn't a good day? Let's find out. What can you do to make you feel better? And it can be, again, as simple, or sometimes it can be just simple as calling someone.
Yes.
Sometimes, again, and I'm guilty of that, sometimes we're just so busy that a text message sounds much easier. But if you have your neighbors, if you know somebody in your community and you haven't seen them, reach out to them. Go knock real quick. Hey, I just want to make sure you're okay. If you have their phone numbers, send a quick text.
Yes. Absolutely. And it's so important. There's so many things going on with our youth right now. It's just a variety of different things that we need to start focusing on the youth more and more, because we don't realize how much we need to prepare our future, because they are our future.
But also we need to make sure that we are empowering them. We hear that often where it says our youth, is our future. But sometimes when our youth reach out to us and say, hey, I want to do something,
we ignore them.
Right. So is it really true that's what we're saying? We have to, again, be committed to them, because then later on we turn around and say, what happened? We thought, we were in the right direction, and then we're not. Because sometimes we tend just to say that. But again, it's all about actions and being there for them. But again, across the board, I always use the word accountable, because that's how I am, and that's how I lead, and that's why even I do my job. Is when it comes to my team, it's always building, training, developing, and holding everybody accountable. But
yeah, And we're all accountable at the end of the day. I mean, no one's gonna, have to be responsible for whatever you did or didn't do, but yourself.
Yes.
So, yeah, the sooner you learn that piece of it, the better overall. So, what are you working on right now in the community? Like, what are your projects right now?
So right now, one of my projects is that I'm running, as I mentioned earlier, I'm running to be the new Alderwoman of the 30th Ward. The current alderman of the 30th is retiring, and I'm one of the candidates running. So that is right now one of my projects that I'm focusing. Again, as I mentioned before, we need a solid representation in City Council who's doing it for the right reasons. I am not a four-year candidate. I'm an everyday community leader and want to make sure that, again, we have somebody in City Council who represents the views and represents the community in the right way. And that's the reason that I decided to run to be the new Alderwoman. And I'm doing a lot of door knocking. So if somebody is, have some free time and want to be a volunteer, absolutely, we'll take volunteers. But again,
call out to our youth. Ask them to come and join you and volunteer and help you knock on doors.
Absolutely. It's wonderful. You'll meet so many wonderful people. It's such a beautiful experience. And we have all those political science students. We have those who say, I want to participate in something. I want to learn more. Well, this is the time you can volunteer and help somebody from the community, just like yourself, who has been preparing herself to take the next step. And that's what I'm doing now. So, but again, it's very rewarding. It is a lot, but again, it's rewarding when it comes to why we're doing it. And as my sister said, you're doing it for the community. So we're all in, we want to say, and it has been an exciting time.
It is, and if everything works out and everything, takes the turn that or the outcome that you want, well, good for you.
We'll be doing a lot of exciting things. I already have a whole plan and a whole vision. That's why my stand is a new voice and a new vision. We have a lot of different things that I have in mind. Again, I develop and train individuals, and we're going to have such a nice dynamic and different approaches in certain things, because I like to include the old and the new at the same time, because we cannot forget about our foundation, but also incorporating what we're at now and bringing those when it comes to not only office team, but again, bringing the resources, the help, advocating, listening to our constituents, and building those groups or those coalitions together to see the difference and then implement it, right? Let's give it a try, implement, follow up, see how well we do. And if we have to make any adjustment, bring other new ideas, it's always adjust and reroute and whatever we need to. But again, there's going to be a lot of exciting things coming to the 30th Ward. So be ready, be on the lookout.
How can they reach your, either your office, or how can the community reach out to you and say, you know what, I would like to, would you be able to give them community service hours? Like, let's say we had high school students that wanted community service hours. If they did any work, would they be able to qualify for that?
I believe they can.
That's what I.
Yeah, I believe that they should be able to. But yeah, they can reach out via email. It's Ruth, RUTH, Cruz, CRUZ, 4 FOR30 @gmail.com. And they can send us an email. We have done very well. We have received a good amount of requests via Facebook.
Right.
Through our office at 3605 West Belmont. It's right up Belmont and Central Park. And then also just even our own neighbors reaching out as well. So it has been powerful. We have a powerful movement going on. Join us. You'll see the difference. You'll see coming election will be February 28th.
It's coming soon. Right?
Around the corner.
It's right around the corner. So just in time for everything to, build the momentum and get everything going, for that day.
Yes, we are. We're excited. Like I said, we are very strategic of everything that we're doing. But again, more importantly, and the bottom line is this: it is for the community and bringing a community that it's, again, we're all working together. And that's what is my vision is, again, being strategic, but overall is being strategic for all the residents.
Exactly. What do you have in mind as far as let's say you took office, what would be like the first couple of things that you would be working on?
One of them, it will be building a strong team. Again, setting up the expectations of how to communicate with the office, reaching out, having community meetings. There's what's called ward nights, but we'll have that. But I'm also trying to have what's called town hall meetings, informing of things that are happening. But also we have what's called the participatory budget, where the community will have a say on how the menu budget will be spent. We'll create different ideas. Of course, it will be hard to fulfill everybody's requests, but again, it's all about working together and prioritize things and what projects we're going to be working. So that will be one of those things that we working. Also, keep building my relationship that I have with either state representatives, state senators, and others to work to see how we can allocate some of those resources, especially when it comes to education to the community. And working with others, our small businesses, for example, as well, what it is that they need. Where are the delays? I know sometimes there is a delay from the time you submit an application into gets processed. How we can work with those departments, how we can follow up and get an answer quickly to our small business owners. And again, just build a sense of community on that end as well, but also addressing other problems that we see in the community. And one of them is our mental health issue.
Oh, absolutely. That is huge.
That is a huge impact. Huge. I think COVID has brought a crisis with us. Yes.
I think the mental health area right now is in crisis.
Yes,
it's in crisis.
And it's addressing that. We want to make sure that we have clinics, we reopen our clinics, bring what is needed. Again, COVID has, like you said, Elsa, added more, not only to our small children as well, but even ourselves, our elders. We just having gone through so much. So that it is one of my priorities when it comes to working with mental health, but also focusing on, we have also situations with our homelessness as well, bringing some resources to them, expanding the resources that we have. Again, how we're allocating those resources, where is it going, who is benefiting from, and again, to service the purpose, to serve those individuals who need it, but also the things it will be working with public safety.
Okay.
I think that's something that is affecting not only, I want to say across the board Chicago, because there could be many different reasons. We have to look at the root causes of crime, and it can be very different things. It can be from lack of education, lack of youth programs. It could be drug and alcohol abuse. It could be mental health issues.
Exactly.
So let's look at those, and again, help also the police department alleviate some of those responsibilities as well for them, and work together with them and see how we can help. But again, that will be one of the things that we're focusing on. And other things will be also with something that I hear very often when I'm door knocking is about our green space. We want to make sure that we have
some green space.
Yes, whether it's parks, just in buildings. Sometimes there's not green space. Bringing the Department of Environment back also into being open and going themselves again to look at all the different things that are coming in with we're environmental. We all deserve to have clean air, clean water, and another thing that is on the table is a dog park.
Yes.
And I said
I have them in my neighborhood. It's very nice to have them.
Yeah, so we don't see that often. If we do, maybe very small, but work on those things as well. Yes. So there's just so much that we can focus on that the community wants, but that will be some of the things that I'll be doing.
I like that. So when people go out and they vote for somebody, these are the things that you have to look at as a community. Who are your candidates? Get to know them. Get information on their background. What is it that they're working on the community? Because I think that oftentimes people will just take the ballot, don't know what to do with it, and it's like, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, pick one, and they don't even know who they voted for.
Yes, but it's also our responsibility as ourselves, the candidate, to take the time to go door to door and introduce ourselves. And that's why I have been doing a lot of walking during the day, during the evening, is taking that time and have that personal connection with our voters and say, this is who I am. this is where some of the things that I have in mind. But again, it is a responsibility on both ends, and it is a responsibility on our voters, like you said. Inform yourself, see who are the candidates, and I couldn't, again, you said it perfectly fine. It's all about educating ourselves.
We have to educate ourselves on everything and then make informed choices, because so many times the regret of having somebody in a position where you got to suffer for years. But the suffering for years is like, oh my God, when is this nightmare gonna end? And that's what you want to really think about when you're, really thinking about what you're doing.
But it also goes, I like what you said that, but it also goes to, we hear often, why should I go out? It's the same thing over and over. But we don't change the mentality, or we don't change who we're electing.
Yes.
Then yes, maybe the results will be the same. We all know we keep just doing the same thing, we'll keep getting the same results.
Exactly.
But if you have somebody like myself who is from the community, who has, again, been preparing myself to take the step, bring a different dynamic, different mentality, different approach to certain things, let's go ahead and support those individuals like myself to bring that change. I always say that even to our voters, it's like, no, let's change the mentality of why. If things are going to be the same, but be the difference, and just you taking your responsibility to go out, because that's what you have, exercise it, then it will make a difference. I can say that it will make a difference. Again, it's just changing the mindset.
And not only that, and also, like you keep saying, being accountable for the choices that are being made. I mean, it's like, speak your voice, but when you speak your voice, also be informed about what you're speaking, with the knowledge that I made this decision because I got informed about who this person is, this is their background, this is what I know, this is their track record. Now, if you know that somebody has a bad track record and you still vote for them, well, then I don't know what to say, because then you are going to be doing, getting into the same for the same, and the result will be the same, disappointment. So, I mean, bringing change makers is huge, a big necessity, but we need to voice these things, and this is why we are here today, so that we can have a voice, and people have a voice, but we need to know how to use our voice too.
Yes, and use it, and for me is use it, go out, come out and vote February 28th, make a difference in your community. And then again, like somebody who is doing it for the right reasons, who's going to be there. I always say I will have an open door policy, because for me is, again, we hear often as well, it's like, oh, we're only here from elected officials when it's election. But that's not true. We're there where we'll be serving, we will be doing things, but maybe we're catching you at the wrong time, right? But it's, again, finding the time and having those meetings, having those community events, inviting everybody, always be present will make a difference, and then we'll have even a better connection. We have people at the door who are like, when you win, we'll make you a carnita asada. And I was like, yes, we're in it. Anything that has to do with food, we will be there. But again, it's just how people are excited at the doors. They're willing to have celebration party for us, and that's something we will be doing. I always say we'll be ready for all those block parties, and we'll have a very good time.
That's excellent. Thank you so much for everything that you're bringing. Anything else that you would like to add? For example, maybe something we missed that you would like to add in closing. What would you like to do? Any contact information? Is there a phone number to reach your office that we can share?
Yeah, so I just want to say again, thank you, ELSA, PRADO, for having me and giving me this opportunity to talk to your audience and create some awareness when it comes to election, but also doing research and electing the right candidate. Again, my office is located 3605 West Belmont Avenue, and the email is prefer. I will get back to you as quickly as possible. Again, it's Ruth, Ruth, Cruz, Cruz, for30@gmail.com. And then if we get more contact information, we'll let you know. And everybody who's out there, again, those young volunteers who want to be part of it, you don't have to be only political science, but again, you want to make a difference in your community, you want to come out and learn, you can always meet with us. Again, we have a group of individuals, we all do different things. Some of them will hold literature, other one will door knock, we'll do different things. We also do phone banking, but not only for young volunteers, because I want to say that we also have a very good group of young ladies and who are doing phone banking for us as well, who are like, I'm not in the age to walk, but I can definitely make some phone calls for you. So we can do that. Or we have also residents who are, again, offering and bringing us food as well. It's just so many different things. Again, we're creating a powerful movement for the community. Join us. My commitment has been and will always be for the community, and that's the reason why I utilize my time, is to be there for the community and always listen any of the concerns that everybody has. I know sometimes there's going to be times that we're going to disagree to agree, but that's fine. We all live that even in the best families, we all go through that. But again, thank you so much. Come out and vote February 28. Again, my name is Ruth Cruz, and I'm running to be the new Alderwoman of the 30th Ward.
Thank you so much, Ruth, for your time today. And for all our listeners and our audience, we've been broadcasting live through Dimensión Latina FM, tu radio por internet. Please connect with us, and we shall have a video for you guys soon, and then we'll have the YouTube as well to share with the community. Thank you so much for everybody joining in and for everything that you do in the community. Thank you, Ruth.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I will say goodbye for now. Until next time. Bye-bye.